Hi there. I have been out working here in the garage on potting up a bunch of little baby peppers. I started a second round about, I think, 3 weeks ago, and they were ready to move up into some bigger pots. But I've done other videos on how to do that, so I'm not going to really talk about that today. Instead, I'm going to talk about an experiment. So let me show you. I have a lot of flower seeds and blue wheat seeds of some different kinds. And I've got a big patch in the backyard where some work had to be done last year, some dirt brought in, and it's just a big patch of yucky, not very good dirt right now. So I'm going to try an experiment. I am going to take all of these random seeds. Some of them are ones that I've had for a couple, 3 years that I've tried growing maybe with winter sowing or done different things. Some of them have done really well. I just didn't have the time this year to do the winter sowing. So that's where some of these might have been done that way this year had I had the time to do that. But so what I'm going to do instead is, since I have this big patch, I'm going to take all these bits and pieces of different kinds of things and just throw them out on the bare dirt and see what happens. So let me show you what we've got. We've got some things that are definitely annuals. So this is a type of salvia called Victoria White. And then we have some cosmos. Cosmos are very like real light and airy plant. The leaves tend to be very thin, and the plant can get quite tall, and it's just a very like light and airy. That's the best way I know how to describe it. The delicate is a good word, but tall. Then this is Linaria Fairy Bouquet. I grew some of this with winter sowing last winter, and it was just such a sweet looking plant. The flowers, lots of different colors. You can see kind of what it looks like here in this drawing, and it was just a really precious looking type of annual flower. So I would love if we can get some more of these. In fact, I did start some of those inside this year. Gumfrina is a great annual, super easy usually to grow. I've grown it before. In fact, I've got some that I'm going to try to start inside to put in some flower pots. This is the one color that I didn't think I would probably want in my flower pots. It grows up. It doesn't get terribly tall. It has these little puffball looking flowers, but it just pumps out. The Combrinas that I've grown before, it just pumps out flowers all summer. So that would be a good one to add a little short color. This is Orlea. It's sort of like Queen's Anne's lace looking, if you can get it going. It is another annual, and it's a little bigger. It's a bigger plant, but it's just got these really pretty, again, delicate looking blooms. I think I tend to favor things that have a more delicate bloom. These are some carnations. I started some of these from seed a year or two ago. Did not get around to actually doing anything with them, but I thought, why not? I'm from originally a city in Ohio that carnation is our city flower. Supposedly they were developed there. I don't know. These are a type of sunflower. There's just a few seeds in here, so I figured they're just going in there to get that packet used up. Then this is some pincushion flowers. It's a type of scabiosa, and also really a neat looking flower. It has sort of a center mass that's kind of clustered together, and then some delicate petals around. This is a mix, so there's different colors in here, also an annual. Then we have two different kinds of zinnias. I have found the best luck with zinnias is to just throw them in a flower bed and let them germinate on their own, and then they seem to do really well with that. These are ones that'll get, I think, fairly good size. Let's see, this one says, what's it say? I'm having a hard time finding that on here. Oh, almost 3 feet. So this one will be nice size, dark purple. This is one that'll be kind of a creamy white, also 3 feet tall. So those will be a nice big flower if all of this takes. Then I have a couple things that are not necessarily, they're kind of sort of annuals, but also can reseed themselves. So chamomile, German chamomile, and rudbeckia. Rudbeckia has like a dark red. They're kind of like black-eyed Susans, kind of. But these are, actually this is a blend, bright yellow to red blooms. So kind of like a black-eyed Susan type kind of a thing. And if they like where they are, a lot of times they will reseed themselves. Then I have some mixes from M.I. Gardener of just a meadow wildflower mix. So there's all kinds of things in here. Some of them are annuals like bachelor's buttons. Some are perennial like coneflower, black-eyed Susans. So just kind of a mixture. So that could add some really nice. So I've got 3 packs of that. So we'll spread those around. And then the wheat is a type of wheat that is blue. So I suppose you could grow it to harvest. I think most people that get this blue wheat grow it for the look. In like a flower arrangement. I did grow some of this the first year that I had bought this. I didn't remember it being extraordinarily vibrantly blue, so I thought maybe it was in too shady of a spot, so we'll give it a try again. I've got quite a bit. We're just going to use it up and throw it in there, see what we get. And then I have a few things that are perennials to add to the perennials that'll be in the wildflower mix. So I've got 2 different kinds of coreopsis. Coreopsis are really nice, usually some type of yellow variation of a flower that tends to take really well and spread and makes a nice clump, has some really pretty yellow flowers, and is another one that will tend to produce flowers for you through most of the summer, especially if you give it a prune after its first flush of flowering. And then I've got a couple different kinds of echinacea. So I've got some echinacea purpurea from 2 different places. And so I'm going to use up this packet. I forget why I got this. I think it came for free with something else that I bought. And then this, I'm going to just every year put some echinacea. This is the traditional purple echinacea. And it's also probably, from what I read, the best or easiest one reliably to use if you're going to try to use echinacea for herbal purposes, which I might play around with once I finish getting all of the vegetable gardening stuff figured out. And then this is another one that is kind of wildflower-ish looking. All coneflowers tend to be, but especially the traditional purpurea. And then this one's called paradoxa. So it's going to look more like maybe a droopy black-eyed Susan. And gets fairly large. So I thought we would just throw all these in here, use this packet up. So I'll be back in a minute when we get out there, and I'll show you how I'm going to just throw these around. It's nothing elaborate. And then we'll check back hopefully in a few weeks and see if some things start to grow. Okay, hopefully the wind won't make this hard to hear, but as you can see, it's pretty rocky, stony, got a lot of gravel and random stuff mixed in. So we're going to try this with the wildflowers and see what happens. I'm going to start at this end, which is the furthest back as you consider where the sun would be. The sun is going to be that way. And I'm going to start with the taller things and just toss them on here. Okay, nothing too elaborate here. I'm just going to take them like in my hand and toss them. You probably couldn't even see that on the video. But that's basically what I'm going to do. And I'm just going to sprinkle a bunch of stuff here in this section. I don't know that I'll try to get the entire section, but this is a bigger patch than what I remembered in my mind. But I'm going to try to get a decent sprinkling of seeds here in this area, and then we'll just see what happens. So thanks for joining me here in Aunt Susan's garden, trying an experiment. Let's see if we can get a wildflower patch.